Okay, today at Speedy's Garage we're going out to do a little bargain hunting. As you guys have seen, I run a water method injection system on Project 4Runner to give it a bit more horsepower. You can run boost juice or something like that, but it's a little bit more expensive than I really want to buy for this vehicle. If you've got a 1,000 horsepower car that you drag race or something of that nature, and if the mixture's off by 2%, it's catastrophic. Obviously get the right thing for your application, but for this 2002 4Runner with a TRD supercharger on it, I'm going to run the washer fluid with a little bit of additional methanol added to it to give me about a 50-50 ratio of mixture. And in doing that, I started shopping around a while back and looked at all kinds of ways to do it. I could get 5-gallon cans of methanol and mix it with distilled water and make my own. I didn't like that it wasn't colored, so it was a little bit harder for me to look in the reservoir and know how much I had left. I could put food coloring in it, but wasn't too sure about that. So I found a mixture made by Supertech. I pick it up at the local Wally World. It's inexpensive, it's -25. Anything less than, let's see, anything more than -20 actually has quite a bit of methanol in it. I believe -20 is 30%. I'm doing this from memory, so don't hold me to these exact numbers. But -20 I believe was 30%, -25 was 35%. Obviously I want to get as much methanol content as I can, getting as close to that 50-50 ratio as possible. So what I did is found a -25. It's a purple fluid. It says de-icer on it, but Walmart only carries it certain times of the year and then they clearance it all out. Well, last year they had it marked down to like, it was like 87 cents or 85 cents a gallon. So I bought enough to last me a year to get to this point, and now I'm going back this year and seeing if I can catch it. Spring's coming, catch it on clearance again and see how cheap they have it marked down to. So we're gonna do a little recon today and see if we can find some on the cheap. Now, I've seen some people say you shouldn't run the windshield washer fluid through a supercharger. I actually looked up the MSDS sheets for the fluids that I considered when I was trying to find one. And this -25 fluid that I found, and even the -20 stuff, if you just go look up the MSDS sheets and confirm that it's just methanol, distilled water, and a very small amount of coloring, it won't hurt anything that I've ever seen. I've seen Corvette guys do it for years and years. I've actually run it on this particular vehicle, which is the 4Runner, for a year now, exactly a year actually. I've put a bunch of gallons through it. I haven't had any issues at all. I've known a bunch of guys do it to their 4Runners as well for years and years. You got to remember, these trucks have been around a long time. They've been supercharged for a long time, so they're a pretty good litmus test to see exactly what you're going to have issues with if you do different things. I haven't seen any issues reported doing it this way. It's cheap, it's effective, and it's easy to get. And those were the things that really were my requirements when I was trying to find a fluid that I was going to use. The main thing you want to watch out for when you're choosing a fluid is just make sure it doesn't have any detergent, any Rain-X, any windshield treatments, anything. You don't want anything else in it, just methanol, water, and maybe a small amount of dye. That's it. Okay, so score. This is the stuff we're looking for. It's marked down to $1, so we're gonna grab a dozen of these. It should tide us over. So this is the other stuff you're looking for. It's $1.58 single, but they come in 4 packs for like $4.55. This store just happens to be out of it. But get the 4-pack. It's much cheaper per unit if you do it that way. And with that setup, you're all done for about $2.25 a gallon. And this, mixed with 1 gallon of the -25 I showed you previously, will give you almost a 50% methanol mixture. So here it is stored in the shop. The Corbel boxes are also full of that -25 fluid just to make it nice and neat. I made up a mix bottle. I haven't ever had to use it, but I'll use this when I use the 5-gallon can of methanol instead of the heat. And I've got it broken down into percentages based on how much fluid gets mixed. So here's the 5-gallon can of racing 100% methanol that I talked about earlier. This 5-gallon can will last me quite a long time. I only mix 12 ounces of this with a gallon of the -25 washer fluid. You're technically supposed to mix this product by weight. So if you wanted to make it up with distilled water, you would mix half of the weight of a gallon of this product with half of the weight of a gallon of distilled water. Now it gets a little bit confusing because the methanol and the water have different physical weights, and when you mix them together they bind chemically. So if you start off with a gallon of one and a gallon of the other and you just mix them together, in the end you won't end up with 2 gallons. Because they chemically bond together, it'll be a little bit less than that. But I'm just going to mix it up by volume, which means half a container of methanol, and I'll fill the rest of it up with distilled water. And then it's 50-50 by volume, and to me it's close enough for the 4Runner. If you're using it to race or something like that, you probably want to do it by weight and get it exact. So that's how you pick up 30 to 40 horsepower for $2.25. When I put the water meth injection kit on the 4Runner, I was able to add a smaller pulley, so I picked up boost there, probably a pound to pound and a half. And then I was able to also claim back about 13 or 14 degrees of timing, which was significant. The truck ran much, much better, and obviously timing is power, boost is power, so there you go. $2.25, 30 to 40 horsepower, you can't beat that. So that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit subscribe in the bottom right hand corner to see more like it. Check out my website, www.speedysgarage.net as well, and we'll see you out there.